Today, we're diving into some of the most fascinating historical photos ever captured. Let's start with the faces of 1870s Egypt, taken by French photographer Émile Béchard. His portraits show everyday Egyptians, farmers, traders, and families, captured in their cultural attire. These photos aren't just portraits. They're windows into the identity, traditions, and charm of a country finding its place in a rapidly changing world. Fast forward a couple of decades, and we step into the stylish 1890s, where women's fashion ruled with elegance. Elaborate gowns, corsets, and fine accessories define beauty and sophistication. These photos remind us how fashion wasn't just clothing. It was status, culture, and expression. But style never stands still. In fact, some groovy photos from history bring back wild trends that might just inspire your wardrobe today. They celebrate individuality, bold choices, and that fearless attitude of expressing yourself, proving that vintage looks will always remain timeless. Not every old photo is glamorous, though. Some fall into the bizarre. Bizarre historical photos capture strange inventions, unusual customs, and odd moments that make you stop and wonder. What were they thinking? But it's that weirdness that makes history so human and so fascinating. Jump ahead to the 1980s, and we're looking at men's hairstyles that were nothing short of iconic. Mullets, perms, slickbacks, and spikes. The 80s were about confidence and standing out. These photos aren't just about hair, they're about a cultural vibe that's still celebrated today. Now, imagine stepping into Jerusalem at the turn of the 20th century. Rare photographs show its ancient streets, bustling markets, and sacred landmarks. Each snapshot carries the weight of centuries of faith, culture, and community, frozen in a moment when modern life was just beginning to reshape the holy city. Across the sea, Victorian London in color photos brings the 19th century to life in a way black and white never could. You see the busy streets, the fashions, and the architecture in vibrant tones, making you feel like you've traveled back in time to walk alongside Londoners of the past. But history goes back much further than that. Ancient fashion reveals the oldest clothes and accessories humans ever made. From simple woven fabrics and preserved shoes to jewelry crafted from shells and bones. These discoveries prove that even in prehistoric times, people cared about expression, identity, and style. Of course, not all stories are uplifting. Some are heartbreaking. Like the story of the Radium Girls in the early 20th century. Young women painting watch dials with glowing radium were told it was safe. They even ingested it while working. But the radiation slowly poisoned them, leaving a legacy of pain that forced the world to rethink workplace safety forever. And finally, we arrive in Budapest between 1939 and 1944. Color photographs from this time reveal families, markets, and daily routines during one of history's darkest chapters, World War II. These images capture a striking contrast, ordinary life unfolding against the looming shadow of war, showing resilience in the face of hardship. So, whether it's fashion, tragedy, or simple everyday life, these photos are more than images. They're time machines. They let us feel history, not just read about it. And each one reminds us that every generation leaves behind stories worth remembering.